How do you invest in out-of-state rental properties? I'm going to give you three things that you can consider starting points to get you started on out-of-state rental property investing. If you're hesitating before I even say those, and you're wondering, is out-of-state rental property investing risky? I've included a link below. I have a whole video that talks about this. So if you're on the fence about whether it's safe to do it or not, check out that video after this one. It'll hopefully, well, I guess, put you on one side of the fence or the other. So back to, how do you do out-of-state rental property investing? There's three major things that you want to consider. Consider all of these starting points. Number one, you want to choose your strategy. So since we're talking about rental properties, basically what it comes down to is, do you want to put work into a property, or do you want something more turnkey, rent ready? There's a big difference in this, and we'll kind of dive into this, because if you want to put work into an out-of-state rental property, you are going to be assuming a lot of time, effort, and possibly risk, because if you're long distance to the property, you need to understand what all that's going to entail. Are you going to be able to watch the contractors all day long? How much skill do you have to manage something of this level of undertaking from afar? It's one thing to manage them up when you're close to them, but if you're going to manage something like this from afar, that's a little bit of a different skill set. Versus if you're just looking to build long-term wealth and you just want something solid at an affordable price, then you might want something turnkey or rent ready. So you really don't have to put a lot of work into this. So the reason that distinguishing which route you want to go on that is, it's important because it's going to kind of dictate the answers to the next couple of things we talk about, which are choosing your team and choosing your location. Now, normally I like to list things out in like a step one, step two, step three. Step one for sure is choose your strategy, because like I said, the answer to that is going to dictate a lot of the rest. Now, I can't really say step two versus step three with choose your team or choose your location, because one of those could determine the other. If you don't know of any teams at all, start with choosing a location. And I can hear you asking already, asking how to do market analysis. That is a whole separate conversation that I'm not going to dive into here, but you can make a note to yourself, learn market analysis. But if you don't know of any teams anywhere, you might start with choosing the location. Because once you choose your location, then you can start looking for your teams, whether that is a team of a do-it-yourself, like an agent, a contractor, all of those things. Or if you're going the more turnkey route, you might even be buying a property from a turnkey provider. So if you're buying from a turnkey provider, that is your team. That's who you're looking for. So you're more than welcome to start by looking for a location. Now, the case where location may not be step two is if you already know of a really good team somewhere, whatever kind of team that is, you might start there and then just verify the location that they operate in. Because I will tell you, the key to out-of-state rental property investing is the team you have working on your property, period. That team, because you're not going to be there all the time to oversee everything, your team is critical. So there is no better asset than a good team for a non-local investment property. So if you know of an amazing team, I would highly consider starting there, because that's what's important. Plus, if you start by choosing your location, maybe you do all this research and all this market analysis to determine a location, only to decide on a location and then get there, and then you can't really find a solid team. So sometimes maybe finding the team, it sounds a little bit backwards, but sometimes finding the team is the better first step. So that's why those two are kind of interchangeable as far as step two and step three. But bringing this back full circle, you want to choose the strategy because it's going to dictate the answers to everything else. You want to choose your team, whether you go out and find a team or whether you already know of one and you get connected with them, and choose your location. From there, then all you have to do is learn the ins and outs of the strategy that you're doing. This is no different than if you choose a random real estate investing strategy. How do you succeed at that? Well, you learn more about that strategy, learn the ins and outs. What does it take to be successful with that strategy? How do you run the numbers? What are the risk points? And how do you mitigate those risks? So no matter which route you go, then pick it. strategy, market, team, and then do whatever it takes to learn more about that strategy, and then just go make it happen. Now, you heard me mention turnkeys in there. As far as the market analysis goes for turnkeys, I did a video about this recently, that if you're thinking of going the turnkey route and working through a turnkey provider, I have a video that specifically hits on how to choose your team and choose your location specifically with turnkey properties. So I'm going to link to that video below. It's very important because it's kind of, not to toot my own horn, it's kind of a mind-blowing perspective, and it's going to make your life a million times easier than having 50 states right in front of you and trying to do all this detailed market analysis. So that's kind of one advantage of turnkeys, is you can kind of shortcut around a few of these processes. But if you're going to rehab houses and you're going to do all of that work, I'll give you also some tips. You want to learn how to put a solid team together, because you have to put all these individuals together. And if you're going to be rehabbing and all that, investigate the BRRRR strategy, because that's essentially what you're going to be doing. It doesn't matter if it's local to you or out of state. So learn everything you can about the BRRRR strategy. So I hope this gives you guys at least a starting point as far as where you can start your path into investing in out-of-state rental properties. Obviously, there's a lot more to know, but like I said, I've included some links below. And this really, I just want to give you that jumping off point. And if you found it helpful, hit that thumbs up button before you leave. All right. See you guys on the next video.